Hello, this is the state of Arsenal, and I'm just going to use this medium to just talk about the season so far. Listen, we're not ranting today. We already know how the season was going to pan out, but it's a food for thought. It's a food for thought again that yet again we are falling short. And honestly, I mean, you go on social media and then you see on Twitter people, some people are very anti-Arteta right now. There's a whole lot of rants. But see, I'm not gonna come in here and just, make it look as if it's all doom and gloom. It's not. It's not. But what I feel again is we we fell short majorly by ourselves, majorly by the decisions and the indecisions of the board and the technical team. I don't think this season is a true test of is a true test of our strengths. I don't think so. I mean, from an Arsenal perspective, I can say we didn't see the best of Arsenal here. And what I mean we didn't see the best of Arsenal is that did we really challenge for the title, the cups, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup to the best of our ability? I don't think we did. We did not, because there were so many dynamics that were faulty from the start of the season. First, from the transfer window, the actions, the lackadaisical approach to the transfer window in the summer took them ages to complete deals. Took them ages to go for a player, dwelling on one player, not having the onions, the balls to move into another target when things are not going well. Spent a lot of time on Nico Williams when we didn't end up getting him. Spent a lot of time on Sesko, we didn't end up getting him. Spent a whole lot of time on Calafiori deal. Why? Because we wanted to save a few million pounds. Spent a lot of time on Mourinho deal. We had no ample time, and we brought in, like a panic buy. It's feeling like a panic buy right now. Raheem Sterling. And then, we let that slide because there was a meltdown. There were people who were thinking, oh, well, the transfer window was okay. But I knew from the summer transfer window that we're going to have a very shitty season. I knew that. And then fast forward to January again, when there was a dear need for them to do something, they refused to do anything. And then people will come in and blame the ball totally. People come in and blame the Kroenkes. Yes, listen, Kroenkes have had issues, and many years ago I was a staunch Kroenke out of Arsenal. But in recent times, in my entire life, in the entire period that I've supported Arsenal, which is close to 30 years now, or more than 30 years actually, we've never had the spending windfall that we've had over the last few years. We've never had it. And in that period, what has Mikel Arteta done? What has Edu done with the transfer funds that was given to them? Did they buy the correct players? Did they buy the right players? I doubt it. I mean, I'm not a coach, but there are tactical onions that you have as a human being. You play soccer manager, you play football manager, you play Pro Evolution Soccer. And then you know the right players to buy sometimes, that improves your team. All our transfers just felt like we're trying to prove a point rather than actually improving the team. I mean, we're not Chelsea, we're not Man City, we're not all these big clubs to a point who there is a lapse in which we can mess up. If we mess up, we've never been a spending club. So for people who are actually questioning the Kroenkes, Arsenal has never been like that. When Wenger was here, prior to Wenger being here, prior to the time where the big, magnates own football clubs in England, Arsenal always spent what they earn. So we rarely used to get transfers wrong. And the transfers that we got wrong, we probably just paid very misleading money. Apart from Frank Jeffers those days, I don't think we ever got any major transfers wrong. So put all that aside, we messed up in the transfer front. We did. Then the second one is Mikel Arteta himself. There are people in my space who believe Mikel Arteta is the best thing. Yeah, listen, he's tried. For a rookie manager coming into a big club, he's tried. He's taken the club from where we used to be to where we are right now. Kudos to him. But he's also made a lot of mistakes. He's made a lot of mistakes with his signings. He's made a lot of mistakes with his beliefs. He's made a lot of mistakes in actually pushing out to something he believes, making it work. And over the last 2 years, the ascent that we've had just feels sort of stale right now. There is no excitement. There is no excitement whatsoever. It feels like we're just riding a roller coaster. When a roller coaster is starting to kick off, that's the way we are. And we're just in a level. We're not going higher. We're not going lower. The gameplay has actually declined. And honestly, all those, I can seriously relate that to the kind of players he brought. I think he has this safe man approach more than the daring approach that the big club should have. I question the signing of Mourinho. I question the way he uses Declan Rice. What happens to the high flair players or, technical flair players that Arsenal used to have, like an Ozil, like a Nasri? Players who on their own can make something happen, like a Santi Cazorla. When did we just end up going to this very safe approach? There's some level of pragmatism with the team now. And I'm not saying pragmatism doesn't work sometimes. It does. But when your philosophy is just so based on pragmatism, then people are going to figure you out. The reason why big clubs will always be big clubs, the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, I don't want to call Man City, I dislike those folks a lot. But the big clubs who play this expansive football, the way they play is totally based on the kind of players they have. When you get players who are very rigid, of course our gameplay is gonna feel rigid. Who says we have to play a defensive-minded 8? And that thing started by his experiment with Granit Xhaka. Why can't we get a Barella? Why can't we get a Javi Simons? Why can't we get players who have flair, who could actually do stuff? Someone said something on Twitter recently that our two best players right now, which arguably you can say Saliba and Gabriel has actually taken huge strides. But when you come off world class, if any club is going to come poke any two players from Arsenal, it's Saliba and Bukayo Saka. And those two, Arteta didn't buy them. So after spending close to 800 million, the fact that none of his buys are actually world-class players, then it begs for questioning. And listen, I respect Arteta a lot. I do, because I actually feel if he's more tactically humble and accepts himself as a rookie manager and learn from you know, put his ego aside, because I actually feel something, and I may be wrong, because, you know, these are just, you know, prognosis. We're just doing a lot of prognosis right now. I actually feel that Arteta finds it difficult to work with very strong personalities. And as a manager, you always have to have that. And, you know, to me, that has affected, you know, the subtle approach to the kind of players that he has. So that again, Mikel Arteta, you know, people don't want to criticize him, but look, he has to take some blame. And then the last one that I'm gonna say is the owners, like the board, the owners, the board. Even though, you know, it will be a lie for me to just use this season as a yardstick to judge them. I mean, we've broken a transfer window 2 times in the last 6 years, which, you know, when I was a little boy, that never used to happen at Arsenal. We spend by our own means. We saw Manchester United, Chelsea breaking their transfer windows year after year. We were just doing our own thing. We spent huge money on Pepe. We spent huge money on Lacazette. We spent huge money on Aubameyang. We spent on Declan Rice. You know, we've done all that. But the fact that they've made Mikel Arteta a rookie manager so powerful right now that, you know, he does what he wants. Because, you know, I've often asked questions in my past videos, like, who sanctioned that transfer window? That transfer window has to be one of the worst in Arsenal history. Because you were within close distance to Man City. You lost the league with the last kick of the season prior. One would have just expected that Arsenal would go in there, irrespective of whether the manager wanted it or not. The board will say, listen, we're this close, get the players that you need. Go for the player. Even if the manager is refusing, give him the players by force. Or let him get out. He's coming to a place where he's super powerful. And let me tell you, they said Edu left to resign. Let me tell you, nothing just happens. There is a huge, you know, stories untold about Edu resigning at the point in which he resigned. Something tells me that maybe he was frustrated that maybe Arteta doesn't listen to him, or maybe Arteta doesn't, you know, he's probably just inherited or, you know, taking more an expansive role on the technical front and the kind of players he wants to bring in. So the season is done, and I honestly feel the Champions League is done as well. There is no way we can, look, it will be a miracle to salvage anything from this season. I was looking at it like, you know, with all the debacle of the red cards and everything, I was thinking, okay, maybe the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup could have been, you know, like a huge consolation. But we went out so fast, so quickly. I don't think we're going to do anything in the Champions League, not with the caliber of players we have. We are struggling to score against Nottingham. We're struggling to score against West Ham. We scored against Leicester because Leicester are terrible. Leicester are terrible. They are the second to the bottom for a reason. They're terrible. You know, it's really a sad time being an Arsenal fan. Why? Because, you know, the fans have been enthusiastic. They put out merchandise. We buy it. You know, there was so much optimism for this season. How it fizzles out, I mean, no one can explain. Only the board, Mikel Arteta and themselves can explain. The fan energy is still the same thing. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Yeah, let's just keep rolling. I'm going to talk to you guys soon. Thank you.